everyone. Um, I was talking with a friend, and we were just talking about this whole twin flame journey, and I'm like really realizing as I'm going along what I feel works for me and what I feel doesn't work, what it is that I'm guided to do and what it is that I'm not doing. I feel like a lot of that is becoming more apparent as the journey goes on. But one thing I was talking to my friend about today was the biggest thing that I always hear with this journey is to release and stop romanticizing. And it hit me because they also, just as a disclosure, there are some instances twins can be reunited or they could be united, and something triggers them and they go back into separation because it's the universe realizes there's still a lot more healing for them to do. That's what happened with me and my twin flame. It was multiple triggers. Actually, it was triggers for me, but also a huge trigger and a tower moment for him as well. But I had to tell myself just the situation that transpired between us, and it made me realize today a lot of people feel that hating someone is going to make you love them any less. And it's like hate can only live in your heart for so long. When your heart is filled with love, when your heart is filled with this positive energy and it's removing stagnant energy, and hate is considered a stagnant energy, it's kind of like that hate leaves and you fall back into that cycle where it's like, oh well, what they did wasn't that bad, or I don't think they really meant it. And it's almost kind of like I've mentioned off camera with conversations that I've had, that high and low drug addiction type of feeling. Like kind of like what I've heard people that have done heavy drugs outside of marijuana, what they've said is wanting to get that high so bad that when they're low, they're fighting to get that high again. And I feel like that's what it is. The hate, there's an adrenaline rush with hate, and there's also adrenaline rush with love. So there's highs with both of them. It depends what you put your energy into. And then there's the lows of love, and there's the lows that come with hate. And I feel like sometimes people try so hard to fuel the hate. They try so hard to get that high that they get from the hate, that when that high starts to comes down and the adrenaline rush of love slowly starts to come in, and it slowly starts to build up, you go back into that cycle where you feel like the things that you dealt with when you felt that you hated them weren't as serious. And it's like, I feel like that's the biggest issue with twin flames, is we go through this constant up and down, up and down, up and down cycle. And then your spirit, your ancestors, your guides are just like, okay, when the fuck are you gonna get tired of doing this shit? Like, when? When are you gonna get tired of accepting the treatment that you're accepting, not even just from your twin, from other people? Because people put, so like I said, people, and I'm guilty of this as well, but this is something that I have noticed from observing others and also self-reflecting with myself. People will be so fixated that their twin is the only thing they need to heal from, and they have shitty communication issues. They have shitty relationships with their parents. They have shitty relationships with food. They have a shitty relationship with different type of addictions. They have self-worth issues. They have self-love issues. They have all these issues within themselves, and they feel like if that is fixed for their twin, things are going to get better. But it's like, your twin is not the only person you're going to be interacting with in this world, especially being a twin flame, you're here for a bigger purpose than just, you're here for a bigger purpose than just that person. So if all, like legitimately all your energy with you healing yourself, if all of that is going into that person, how are you going to be able to approach any situations or any life situations with people that you deal with on the outside world? How exactly is that going to work when all your energy has been directed to a romantic relationship? Like, none of your platonic relationships have this energy. You don't really know how to be a friend. You don't know how to be a sister. You don't know how to be a family member. You don't know how to be a person of this society. And then you have all those other triggers you have to deal with. And then, of course, the first thing that we do when we get triggered or when we're fueled by hate, for some reason, we're driven to take that out on the people that we're driven to take that out on the people that it is we love. So it's like, if you're dealing with all these outside triggers and then say you come home to your twin flame and it's like a battle between, I know I need to verbalize, I'm not really in a good space right now, and I don't want to talk, as opposed to falling into that toxic habit of giving them a silent treatment. And I feel like even with friendships, that's so easy to do with friendships, to give your friends, in this sense, a silent treatment. And it's like, it's understandable, everybody has their own lives and stuff, but if you know your friends are genuinely concerned about you, if you know that your friends want to talk to you, not even just so much to vent, but just to talk to you and see how you're doing, and you're constantly ghosting them, they're constantly ignoring them, you're picking and choosing when it is that you feel it's convenient to interact with them, it's just like, how exactly does that work? How does it work? And just like, really overall too, another point that it was that I had made, a lot of people so badly want this fantasy. They want this twin flame fantasy that the cards create, that the readings create. Like an example, I am going to shuffle my cards and I'm going to infuse loving and positive energy, and I'm going to say, okay, Spirit, show me the loving and positive and high vibrational energy of a healed twin flame relationship. That's the energy I want to go into my cards. That's what I'm going to speak into it. Because I'm going to show you what the world presents versus what the fuck it is that really happens. And I'm also going to use my power of surrender cards as well for that. So, Spirit, show me the high vibrational, loving, positive energy of a healed twin flame relationship, and see what cards fall out, just so you guys have an idea, and to really get you to understand, and not in the way that I had to, because that's the reason I'm so open. That's the reason I'm so open about my journey, is because I want people to understand this shit's not about that person. It's about you. It's always been about you. They were simply, at that moment in time, a catalyst. They were, I'm going to have to reshuffle because a bunch of cards fell out at once. They were a catalyst. Now, of course, the first thing, the positive to the journey. It's a soul connection. It's also a soul contract. And it's an agreement, but it's also a partnership. It's no longer just about you anymore. It's about that person as well. But the decisions that are made in the best interest of you first, your mental health, and that person directly after. The next thing, and then as I say that, Twin Flames card came out. So soulmates, partnership, duality, complementing each other, working on it seems like the positive thing. There's always things that need to be worked on. There's always things that you have to add in to build for that healthy relationship. The next one is the butterfly, healing the inner child and growth and evolving to the next phase. The next one is mirroring each other. That's a lot of things that happen in the high vibrational state. You guys constantly mirror each other. You mirror the negative and you also mirror the positives. And I'm going to see if one more card will come. If one more card will come out. And the next one is looking at your photos, nostalgia, making new memories. That's another purpose when you finally reach that point of creating new memories with that person. And at times, I don't know, don't quote me on this. I guess you can say, there may be parts of you as you're evolving. There may be parts of you that missed how things were when you first met them. Because it's a different type of high that you get when you first meet your twin flame. Like, they make you feel like no matter what's going on, the sun is always shining. Everything just feels so beautiful. You honestly and truly, you feel so light. The love is very refreshing. It feels like something you've never felt before. It makes you feel like you can conquer the world. It makes you feel like you can take on anything that's thrown at you. When you're with that person, it's like nothing, like a regular relationship but heightened. And it's kind of like nothing really matters. You feel invincible with that person. You feel protected at all times with them. That's what it feels like. Now, the low vibrational part of the twin flame relationship, that's what it is that they need to see and know and understand. The low vibrational part, the negatives, the triggers, the first cards that come out, karmic relationship. That's one of the things that it is that you come to deal with. Karmic relationships. It's not always with a third party. It can be a job. It can be a family member. It can be an addiction. Remember, karma is good and bad. Karma is yin and yang. So it's kind of like, it makes sense how people from the outside in twin flame relationships can look very toxic because karma is yin and yang, the good energy and the bad energy. You need both to balance things out. But like I said, triggers, the things with the low vibrational relationship is like I said, separation, and on the card is letting go and loving you. And when they say that letting go and love you, you're having to let go of that relationship so you can love yourself and focus on yourself. The next thing is, like I said, feeling the coffee cup, feeling uplifted. And that's what happens in those negative things. So like I said, you're so busy trying to fight. You're so busy trying to reach that high that you first felt when you met that person. And it's like, the whole purpose is to create new memories, not to so much focus on how it is that things, not so much to focus on how things used to be. Focus on how you want things to be. Focus on creating the future. And then as I say that, this card came out. So this is something, like, I guess in a mirroring sense, making new memories. Stop fighting to create the old memories that you had when you first met them. Another thing heavy in this journey, the chaser, which can be masculine or feminine energy. And I feel like that goes with karmic relationships. Karma, dealing with codependency is very heavy from what I've noticed in this journey. Fear that person is going to abandon you. And then also stabbed in the back. Separation is on here, and shocking attack. Sometimes when being a twin flame, when you don't listen to the signs, the subtle signs that are given to you, they will allow your twin to do some very deceitful and very deceptive things. And it hurts, which shocking is on there. Because it literally shocks you. Like you feel like your whole body is tensing up. And then that's funny how this fell out. The next card that came out is the runner. Runner in a codependent relationship. Fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So those are kind of, these are the things. This is a difference between the chaser and the runner. The runner has a huge fear of intimacy and they're always listening to their ego. Whereas the chaser has a huge fear of abandonment issues and they're always listening to their intuition. So you see what I was saying with that the whole yin and yang thing, how that works even with the runner and chaser dynamic. Now I'm going to pull one more card or however many fall out. The next card, as I said again, separation, sadness, missing them. The one thing that's here is heavy, yearning for them, constantly feeling that person's energy and unsure of the future. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how things are going to change. You never know how things are going to pan out. The only thing that you can do is focus on you. That's it. There's nothing more you can do. And the Phoenix, if you're in the twin flame journey, the Phoenix can definitely be something that let me see here. The Phoenix can be something that you see very often. Transformation, change mind is heavy. Sometimes people get tired of this journey and they realize it's too much work and they'd rather be with a soulmate. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, as a twin flame, your journey and your purpose is a lot higher. So, and the next one, someone likes you, fun flirting, wanting to date. Like I said, change mind. Sometimes you may feel compelled to date other people. Sometimes you may want to deal with other people because you're tired of your twin flame. Everybody's journey is different. Some people we all have free will. We're always going to be guided back to what is meant for us, I guess I should say. And then engagement ring. Not so much engagement ring, but commitment, eternity, and union. This is, and as I say that, it's 1717, mirroring twin flame numbers. Just the journey overall. No matter what it is that you do, your twin flame is always with you. You are them and they are you. You are essentially a soul split in half. So that's kind of to give you guys an example of the positives that it is that you see, and the negatives. Now we're gonna use the power of surrender cards because I feel like I'm feeling guided to give visuals today to make some of this make a little bit more sense. Now I'm gonna see what are some things generally that the chaser needs to surrender to in a twin flame relationship. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go limiting ideas about yourself, about the past, and you can own your power and soar in life. And sometimes, like I said, just with surrendering outdated beliefs about yourself, letting go of the things that you're telling yourself, letting go of the ideas and the concepts that were programmed to make you feel like this is who I am and nothing can change. That's how that it is pretty much getting back to who you were, not who you were created to be. Okay, what are some also things that this chaser and the twin flame dynamic can release? Heavy. Surrender your attachment to results. That is the biggest thing. And it says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. And now I think this is going to be my last card here. No matter what reading you get says, no matter if the reading says you're going to be in union in the fall, the winter, it's a reason the universe generally does not give us twin flames dates, because we hyper focus on when that person's coming. Like an example for me, my reading that I got from a woman on here, her name is Rising with Morgan. I think her name used to be Freedom Seeker Tarot on Instagram. I'm not sure because there are two pages I follow that are very similar. But the reading that she did for me, I said the fall. The only thing is it didn't say when in the fall. So that can be any time. That's not really up to you to try to figure out the timing. You just have to surrender to your soul's path. Like I said, and it's said on and on again. The heaviest thing is perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So that's some of the things generally that the chaser in the dynamic has to surrender to. And we're gonna see here now what is generally something that the runner in the twin flame relationship has to surrender to. It's like these cards want to keep coming out. It's like they'll like lift up and then lay back down. And see, the runner is legit always disturbing. You guys notice with the chaser, when I asked a question about the chaser, those cards fell right out because we're very receptive to the connection, as feminine energy is. Feminine energy can be receptive. Too receptive in an unhealthy state. So what is something that the runner usually has to surrender to in the dynamic? Surrender to your intuition. The biggest thing that it is that the masculine deals with is they're so heavy in their masculine energy. Everything has to be logical. And I'm going to tell y'all something. There isn't shit logical about this connection from the outside looking in. Unless you are in a twin flame connection, to outsiders, this connection looks very toxic. And there's a lot of things that's not going to make sense. There's a lot of changes you're going to deal with in life that make no sense at all. So you really have to surrender to your intuition and allow that to guide you. And there will be times that there are seeds that your twin or your counterpart will plant in you. And it's times you got to step back and let them come to those realizations on their own, because it's not for you to force it. You can't, just like with intuition, period. You can't force anybody to listen to their intuition. They have to be willing to do that on their own. There's something they have to learn, just like as divine feminines, we've had to learn. It's naturally within us, so it can be a little bit easier for us to listen to our intuition. Sometimes, not all the time. Okay, what else is something that the runner generally needs to surrender to with the twin flame dynamic? Oh, Spirit said, oh, I got something for you today. The next thing is surrender your ego. This is heavy, and it's crazy that this card is in blue for masculine energy. Their egos generally work against them, and that's why sometimes the connection and just the surrendering of it can take a lot more time, because they're not as tapped into their emotions as we are, being the divine feminine. So it's a bit of a tug and pull type of thing, constant tug and pull thing. The next one is surrender to inner peace. The divine man, well, of course, both twins deal with trauma, toxic habits and things of that such. But sometimes the masculine is always so busy, just like constantly trying, like back and forth, trying to be on the move. They never surrender to inner peace. They never surrender to just being able to be by themselves. And I feel like that's another thing that's not talked about in this dynamic. The codependency issues that the masculine have. They are codependent on sex, codependent on alcohol, codependent on drugs. They're codependent on their work. They can be codependent on the opinions of others to make logic of this situation. So those are some things. And the last one is surrender worry. And this one, I feel like the biggest worry from what I've tapped into with my own twin flame, the biggest worry that they have is if this relationship is gonna last. A lot of them have never seen what a real relationship looks like. A lot of them have never actually felt a love this deep. So to feel a love that feels foreign to you, it worries them, which is what causes them to run even more. So that is just a visual. That is a visual for you guys. And also I think I'll do one more to see what is something that both counterparts, masculine and feminine, deal with needing to surrender in the journey. Surrender to silence. Very much true. Always trying to seek answers. Like I said, with surrender to inner peace, silence is where the answers will come. That's too many cards. No, Spirit said take that last card out. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Your body is going to be able to tell you when it's time to stay and when it's time to leave. And I learned that heavy. And I feel like that was a sign for me. Pay attention to how your body feels when you're around a person. That's something both can equally do. This, and definitely surrender the idea you can fix someone. I feel like in our own way, both twins try to fix each other. The masculine tries to make the feminine out to be the woman that he's used to dealing with, and the feminine is trying to make her masculine into what she essentially wants him to be. Now we're going to do one more card here just to give you guys an idea. What is something that both counterparts generally have to surrender to? Hopefully it's just one card. I feel like it'll be two. Okay. Surrender your desire to control people. That's one of the biggest habits, is being too controlling of the person. Feminine, indefinitely, but also masculine, because they see how loving and giving the feminine is, and they try to control that. They do anything that they can at times to get over on them, because like I said, this is a love that they're not used to. And it's like when you have something you're not used to, some people shy away where others take. Because they don't realize not only are they hurting their twin, they're hurting themselves, because like I said, their twin is a part of them. And that forces them to deal with and feel emotions they don't want to. And it's kind of like how they say, I've always seen, I want to invest in a deck. I'm not sure who I want to buy it from though. The one card that I've seen since I've been on my journey is, I feel so badly for hurting you. Because believe it or not, eventually the masculine, their ego does fall away in due time when they've started to do the work and they've started to release and let go of things that no longer serve them. They do release their ego, but when they do, it allows them to feel that pain, and they're just like, fuck, she didn't deserve that. She was really kind, she was really sweet, and she was really loving to me, and she didn't deserve that. And then the guilt washes over, and that's when the cards surrender to worry, which is why that came out for them. They worry, is she gonna take me back? Is it too late? Because they open their eyes to the connection and they realize, like, damn, this was something that I needed. This was the person for me. This was the person. Sorry if you guys keep seeing me look at my clock, it's because I really wanted to make this video, but I'm probably gonna do like a little mommy son date with my son. I'm not sure what day, because my organization skills are shit. But yeah, so that's generally how it is that the masculine feels. They're just worried that they've lost their divine feminine overall. And I feel like that's the biggest thing too. That's something the divine feminine worries about. Like, they get tired of the games with their masculine. They get tired of the games with their masculine, but essentially a part of them still wants them. Even if they move on to somebody else and they're happy and all that, a part of them still wants them. And I can say that because when I was with my karmic, before I got back in a relationship with him, because I have a child with my karmic, I always yearned very much so for him back. I was completely happy in other relationships. I loved them. I really enjoyed their company, but a part of me always wanted him. Deep down inside, I always wanted him. But just like I spoke on in the very beginning, I tried to cover that yearning with hate. But it's like I said, hate can only live in your heart for so long before love drives that shit out. So that is that, y'all. This video has already been 30 minutes. If you've stayed this long to watch this, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling compelled to possibly make this public to the public to watch it. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Spirit says, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.